After we found out, like more finding out of like who Tony pays. Like first it was it was Rita Chatterton.
Yeah.
Then we find out Ric Flair's still on the payroll.
Still.
Like Ric Flair just outed it. Like it's getting to stooge levels. But like, all right, so then we find out that like Mercedes Moné has a whole entourage that's getting like floated by Tony. If these cosplaying journalists who are really just PR shills for the company and like they're useless idiots as like a marketing campaign that the company runs are not getting paid, it's embarrassing for them at this point.
Yeah.
And like I'm willing to name names, and I won't do it on your show. I'll do it on the Spaces, and I'm gonna call some people out. Like if you're not getting paid, like what the heck is wrong with you? Because everyone gets paid by this guy.
Yeah, no.
And I actually think that a lot of them like that say I don't get paid by AEW. Like, well, no, you get paid by like Ring of Honor, or you get paid by like Tony Khan, or you get paid by somebody. But like enough of the act already. Like I'd like someone to just come out and say it, because like Ric Flair's stooging him, Mercedes Moné's stooging him. Like, what's the worst that happens? Like, you probably get a bigger following for stooging them. You're all chasing the cloud anyway. Sorry, I had to get that off.
No, don't be sorry, man. I'm just digesting what you're saying because you're dropping bars, and I'm just, sighing over such a sad state, And then I saw the other day MJF. I think it's in the Sicko segment, but he's hanging out with Elbu in a space again. And I'm sitting there like, man, these guys don't learn, do they? Like, they really don't fucking learn.
There's a chance he went in there to like blast him and leave, or like joke about him.
Nah, but that's what he did always. That's their friendly little game they play.
Like there's like some communication going on, and that the grift that keeps grifting is that whole crew. Like that they got people in their Discord actually like threatening Tony in the
I know,
and it's like either clean your up, disband it, and don't be associated with it. But then, like, MJF goes and hangs out with him. It's like there are so many layers and levels to which this company is just completely broken, and like everything is starting to leak out. Like this is the Titanic, and everything is leaking out, and people are fleeing. The ones who can get first class tickets are out of there, and it's not going to stop. You called it, the exodus of 2025, and I'm on this New Japan thing. Like it's not fake. Like, it's not like I'm joking when I write a report about it, but like there is so much smoke to that fire that I've had people reach out to me like IRL and be like, tell us what you know. We'll tell you what we're hearing about like Japanese media.
Well, since we can't get off the topic of sickos, it is time for an impromptu Sicko segment. Let's get into it. WWE news can wait for just a moment. So, again, just what we were talking about, right? The backup Hangman side one night stand debating Dom, and then MJF's up in there. And then Wrestle Purists are like, what the f- is this? And it's like, you know what that is. That's
it's
your
like they
homeboy.
are Wrestle Purists, like, right? Like, that's like a thing known.
MJF's your guy, and he's in there, So this Ridge Holland guy, not the real Ridge Holland, but this guy pretending to be, or not pretending to be, but rather like parodying him or whatever. He's just a sicko. And he's like, CMLL and AEW need to expose this bitch, talking about Stephanie Vaquer, for the unprofessionalism she displayed. Her ex should have finished the job. Whoa! And prevented her from stealing the spotlight from other deserving women. Steph Vaquer, you don't belong in this business. Go back to where you came from. Whoa, dude! What the fuck is that about?
Click the account.
I don't even want to. And it's like this guy, 65 followers, made his name Ridge Holland. Yeah, I'm sure Ridge appreciates
go to
that.
the followers. Can we do something real quick? Go to the followers.
You're taking us on a fucking
no. It's all the same accounts and people.
I know it's bots,
if you go
bro.
To followers or following. No, but there's some real people in there.
Okay.
If you go to whoever they're following, whatever. Anyway, people can do this. It's so deranged, and it's very obvious. That's all I'll say. I'll leave it alone.
Okay. So that's crazy, man. That guy needs to calm down. So, Josh Barnett having to respond to more sickos again about WWE talent being on GCW Bloodsport. And this Tranquilo account goes, on this 10-match indie show, only 3 matches don't have any WWE wrestlers in them, and 2 of those 3 matches have New Japan wrestlers in them. And then Josh Barnett's like, all those wrestlers must be terrible then and not capable of delivering the best matches possible in this format. Bloodsport is a neutral ground where wrestlers from anywhere can come and compete. What's more independent than that? Yeah, hey, shout out Josh Barnett, a legend. So look at this person. He watched the WrestleMania 9 doc, right? And his name's Wire Taupe or something. And he has a screen grab. This is actually Nick Khan at WrestleMania 9 as a security guard. Right, and they're in Vegas, so it makes sense that this was the documentary they went with for Peacock here. And this guy goes, Nick Khan literally was born without a cell. Those eyes were built to analyze a situation and manipulate to the beholder's interests. What the? Yeah, he's what are you calling him, Jafar? He's got the Cobra staff or whatever that Jafar has in Aladdin that like brainwashes people. What are you talking about, right? And then the flames are all swirling in his eyes, and Jasmine, the Sultan's looking at him, and he's like, yes, to Jafar. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? You're just looking at a dude's normal eyes, right? And he's standing here just working security, and he's like really hyped that he's at WrestleMania, And I'm sure, what year was this? What year was WrestleMania 9, chat? Or MJ? I don't remember, but if it was the 80s, dude.
What, this WrestleMania?
WrestleMania 9, yeah. When was that? What year was that? It's like got to be 90 something.
93.
There you go. So just out of the cocaine era is all I'm saying. Moving along here. So the bad boy Joey Janela is going back and forth with Jimmy Corderas a little bit, right? And so MJ from NJ, you're here, dude. Again. You made the show, and you post
this may or may not have triggered an avalanche, resulting in Nick Khan's comments today.
Yeah, and so this is when Shivani and Tony Khan were on TNA television, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, somebody commented on this. They replied, it was very funny. That look how he's holding his arms under his hands under his armpit, so he can look like he has bigger muscles. Which I got a chuckle out of.
Oh man! So they just talked.
Fans, as we set to go live on TNT tonight with AEW Dynamite at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, I introduce.
Like, who does Tony think he is in this video?
This is very timely, by the way. Did you do the Bill Simmons Nick Khan thing?
Yes, we touched on it. It's in WWE news as well, a little more, and we have some Sickos reactions to it as well. But
the owner, the president of All Elite Wrestling and the Forbidden Door, Mr. Tony Khan.
Thank you very much, Tony. I appreciate it, Mr. Shivani. And as we get ready to go live tonight on Dynamite on TNT, I just wanted to address as the Forbidden Door. I read in the Observer.
As the Forbidden Door.
I read in the Observer.
Observer today that New Japan Pro Wrestling apparently has had talks with WWE's president, Nick Khan. Well, Nick, I have to say, if you've been talking to New Japan Pro Wrestling for 2 months, you've gotten a lot done. Just in the last 2 weeks, I've had Yuji Nagata, Ren Narita, and Rocky Romero on AEW. I've reunited.
And? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? God damn it, he's such a mark, dude.
Ren Narita.
Jesus Christ. Ren Narita.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
Yeah, it was years ago. Comical. Go ahead.
Yuji Nagata. You mean the guy from WCW? What are you talking about?
This, by the way, they're celebrating tonight, and this couldn't be more WCW 2000 than anything. He's quoting the Observer.
Oh my God.
On a national broadcast, he's talking about the Observer. You don't get more WCW 2000 than that.
Oh my God, this is fucking gold, man. I love the throwbacks sometimes.
I've had the New Japan IWGP US champion Jon Moxley defend the title successfully on our show.
You can't even get the words out. It's such a mouthful.
The what now?
Meaning it. And I have future plans with New Japan Pro Wrestling for the U.S. title. So
future plans? He's like having a meltdown. He's all nervous. He's
I wrote it in my notebook.
You ever see that movie or that SNL sketch, Superstar? He's like Molly Shannon, has his hands under his armpits, and he smells them after.
You must have.
He's all nervous and
really gotten a lot done in the 2 months, Nick. In fact, I think there's only room for one Khan in the wrestling business, Nick. And it's me. It's Tony Khan.
but I'm pumped.
Yes.
Yo,
There's only room for one con.
So this parlays into like the whole Nick Khan comments today. No small coincidence that this was an avalanche. But this was Tony like years ago, just direct shooting at Nick Khan on a national telecast.
Yeah, and like not even their own company. Like Tony Khan didn't even have
Like,
the balls to do this on his own show.
Did
It's
this
not some
dude
con man
not
for-
expect receipts?
No, he didn't. He just talked. He's an internet forum kid who used to hang out with old Nambla dudes from the forums, like Eric Cartman.
from Connecticut. Have a fun show tonight, Nick. See you on Dynamite.
What
See you
the-
on Dynamite. Like Nick's coming to Dynamite.
I know, and he always does that. There's a clip in my Sickos song where Tony Khan's like, "Thank you, TikTok and AEW," and Will, or he goes, "Thank you, AEW and TikTok," and it's like, bro, you just ended your promo about Dynamite thanking your own company and TikTok for like you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Can we jump around and go to the Bill Simmons Nick Khan thing?
We certainly can. I just wanted to cover this quick though. Jimmy Corderas is like, Jesus, I wonder why he's wearing sunglasses. Actually, no, I don't. And then the bad boy Joey Janela is like, Jimmy worked with WWE from 1987 to 2009 in that timetable. I'd say about 90% of the people he worked with were drug addicts in one way or another. I'm sure he was blowing lines with the boys as well. Like, God damn it, man. Just goes so
By the
hard
way,
on Corderas.
Joey not denying what was going on.
No, well, absolutely. How can you? How can you, you know?
Just attacking Jimmy, but not denying.
So here's this guy, like you quote tweeted this, you screen grabbed this, and some of these sickos have just been, you know, Ospreay's like, oh, bruv, if I wrestled in front of a Monday Night Raw crowd, they'd have a sexual awakening, bruv. And then, but these guys are having sexual awakenings. Like, you're just like projecting that, bro, because this is these weirdo fans, this Takeshita fan here. And MJ from NJ, you post this. I hope Take Soup, nor Will Ospreay, nor Don Callis, or his friends, or his professor ever see this Takeshita fan tweet. This is weird, and it was like yesterday. So Takeshita fan tweets this out when he sees that Takeshita and Will Ospreay are teamed up, and this guy's just had me blocked like forever. I don't even know. He just
I found out quite a bit about this guy because this college kid. He's a college kid. You know how we always joke that like these are kids? It's a college kid that's in Europe.
It's unfortunate.
And I found out quite a bit about him because he decided to engage with me over what political culture is like here in America. And you know what he cited as like knowing he's like an authority on this is that he takes like a political theory class. Yeah. And it's his minor. Not his major, it's his minor. Yeah. And Jesus. I'm like, you have not lived in this world or experienced enough, certainly not in America, to like comment on this. And then he just kind of like, then I realized, oh, this is like one of those sickos, like one of those hollowed out. This is a 10,000 account person that I was talking about.
I was reading hollowed out. I was reading a thing where it was like, for the first time, generations are like have like lower IQs on average than like the generations before them. You know, like in the Western world or something. I don't know. Social media rots these. It's brain rot. They all grew up.
This is brain rot. Like
watching
right
Skibbity Toilet, and now they're like talking wrestling, and they're talking political, whatever, with you, and they don't know what they're talking about. But this guy though goes, Takeshita fan. He goes, "I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now. I'm just stroking my. I'm horniest man. I'm a freak man. Like, this is what the he's saying about this wrestling match." And it's just like, why, man? Why do this? Like, this is turning people away.
But these are the sickos, and this is what Will Ospreay is like promoting this, right? Will Ospreay says it. He gaslight. He stokes the flames. He incites it. Then these are kids that like say all this, and it's like, dude, like you're saying this in public, like on X. Like, what are you? Draw the line of like what's real and what's like pretend on X. Like this should not exist. It's just a weird culture.
And when he's 30, when he's 35, he's gonna be like me, you know.
35. Like, that's why I said, like, I hope none of these people ever see this because you'd be embarrassed by it.
Yeah. So Slick 2099 says WWE rating AEW of its own stars because it's much easier and faster than making stars own their own. Own their own is classic WWE behavior, man. They did the same thing to TNA back in the day for years. It's also done to hurt AEW's business, and fans say WWE doesn't worry about AEW.
Guaranteed this is another kid.
Again, just like projection, yeah, probably a kid, and AEW's never made a star, in my opinion, like a full-fledged star. You know, MJF's undeniable, ultimately. Doesn't matter where he went, he was going to, you know, get traction and have eyeballs on him. But I don't think they've made a stars in what? Like, what quantifies that? A television or pay-per-view draw?
They've made one star in the company. It's MJF.
Who? Sure, but did they make him that, or would he have made himself that if he went to NXT, or if he went to TNA, or if he went like he was just
Cody,
he's bonafide.
He has been very honest about this. Cody gave him his break, took a chance on him, put him on the first All In before, right, the one that we watched on Awful's video, and like whether he would have wound up in WWE and how he would have succeeded there versus what he ended up doing once given the freedom in AEW, like he a bona fide star. Like, so to me, it's like that AEW cultivated that. They gave him the room to grow and do what he needed to do because he might have been stifled elsewhere. But they haven't made anyone else. Hangman's a star, but Hangman was like, Hangman was a big star. He was in the main event of the first All In. He was already that guy. Like, it's not anything different.
And look at these graphics I have pulled up here. Here's all the people from NXT and WWE that AEW has signed, hired, or fired, right?
And that's not including New Japan, right?
And then New Japan's right here. Here's all the New Japan guys / like indie guys as well.
They're still paying Kota Ibushi. Yo, Kota Ibushi's getting a bag from Tony, but there are guys posting links to ticket sales, like literal links, and they're not getting a bag.
Yeah. But these people that they've taken from all these companies, it's like these sickos don't keep the same energy, you know? Oh, they're being WWE's raiding. No, they're not raiding. Like, this is a raid right here. This is why you guys are like TNA now, right? And we see it, AEW's playing promos for Dynamite for people when they get off the plane at Vegas there. And it's smart. It's a smart move, but you know, what are they looking at? Old AEW guys or WWE guys, and then it's this AEW. And how many people do they convert? Like, hopefully some, but to them, it's just like, oh, Ricochet's there, and well, I just saw him on TV. Like, do I want to go over there and watch Ricochet and Swerve and, you know, like Christian? And like, I don't know about that. So it is what it is, man. This guy here, I destroyed him. Tuke Timbo. Right? He goes, just because a wrestler goes to another company doesn't mean the previous company fumbled. And then posts a picture of Mariah May. And then all I did was type fumbled on his thing. So I'm like, watch, I guarantee, I know I've seen this guy say people have been fumbled. WWE fumbled him big time. WWE fumbled him badly. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a hypocrite, doesn't keep the same energy. Meanwhile, WWE fumbled one of the best wrestlers in the world. Me too. Better storylines and matches for Danielson. WWE fumbled him badly. Imagine being so restarted that you think that WWE fumbled Daniel Bryan. They made him into the ginormous star that he is to begin with. So it's pretty crazy to me when people say like that. Speaking of which, Dav Boro, Down Bad Dav, he's like, all the WWE fans who called Mariah Timu Tiffany Stratton for 2 years are currently deleting all their tweets about her today. Here's Dav. Timu Mariah May about Tiffany Stratton. So this is just projecting, right? And that's why these sickos do it, man. Look, he got how much impressions on both of these tweets and likes from just a bubble of
that's
insane
not
people.
A verified account. That's like a real person.
Yeah, Dab's like everyone knows him. He like ran away to Blue Sky, but then he's still
one of the very few that I think I have blocked. He takes a great level.
Everyone blocks him, yeah, because he's like a sick weirdo. He's just a sick guy, man. He just go, if I don't know, he'll like post some and then like where he's like cool to you, and then he'll start like talking you to other people where you're not tagged in, or like we'll screen grab and dip, and it's like, all right, then I have to block you so you don't just talk to me if you're gonna talk to me, you know. So it's like one of those things. So I'm just like, yeah, everybody should be blocking idiots like this, you know, or mute them, right? Like AR Gold, you got to mute that guy. until someone reacts to a screen grab or something. But
another
yeah, dude, like these type of people are like, you just got to mute them because it's such disingenuous like projection. So this guy, it's like you can never take this guy ever in good faith ever, because he will do this. He will call people Timu this and then go, oh, all the WWE fans are saying Timu that. And it's just, that's a gross person. That's like, yeah.
And none of them actually speak like publicly.
No, because anyone can, and I'm saying, like, I know people who are really funny on X, and I'm not trying to diminish them. Like, I'm not saying there's no art form to being good at X. It took me a long time to get good at X, but I'm just being honest, man. Like, anyone can X. There's a reason these teenagers are on here getting, all these getting these followings, and
I think half of it's fake.
Well, I know, but I mean, there's some of that, but there's some of that, bro. But at the same time, you got to remember, people are putting themselves in bubbles, bro. Like, people are putting themselves in bubbles, so they're all going to find each other in their little echo chamber.
I get stuck in their bubble.
Yeah,
I engage with them enough that I get stuck in their bubble, but it's like it's an interesting thing.
It really is. I call it the bubble paradox, though. Like, you get enough people who are all like, that's what Blue Sky is. It's just everyone who wanted to be in their own bubble but didn't want to be on X anymore. Now they just go to Blue Sky to complain about what's going on X. And it's like, you all really just want to be over here, but you all put yourselves in a bubble.
What's his name? Righteous, the righteous one. He came back.
They all come back.
I've lit him up a few
Same
times.
with Dav. He came back because they can't stay away. Because this is why they're addicted to like the dopamine high of the likes, and over there's not as much of the interaction of the salaciousness.
Some of them have to shill for websites, so like they have to come back because they literally can't sell. And these websites, Wrestle Observer newsletter, another 50% off sale.
So AEW Defender, he posts this, and he blocked me. This guy, speaking of being blocked, but he was like, Sammy is in ROH being mentored by Dustin Rhodes. Darby is on Mount Everest gaining the most prestigious bragging right in extreme sports. Jack Perry is building anticipation, and he's going to be an important piece of the current puzzle. Like, what the?
He leaves out their biggest star of all of them.
I know, he leaves out MJF, but then the other pillars, like, dude, Sammy's gone because Monet, he's not allowed on the shows Monet is on. Darby could possibly die on Mount Everest, and he's gaining the most prestigious bragging right in extreme sports. Okay, then go be a skateboarder. Like, what the you talk? Get some rollerblades. Like, what are you talking about?
Nobody will know he did this.
No, and then Jack Perry is building anticipation. How? By being gone? By not being anywhere and being off TV? Ooh, the anticipation. And it's an important piece to the current puzzle. No, he's not. Listen to the reaction Joe gets. That should be the most important piece of the whole brand AEW, right? But I just, I saw someone screen grab this, so I saved the picture, and I was just like, these aren't real people.
MJF has to leave that company because AEW Defender intentionally leaving him off is like why MJF is peaked at that company.
So here's Mariah May saying, hey, don't hinder Jinder. So she's a real wacko. She's a real sicko, and I'm with her. You guys can go back. Just type in Jinder and look at me marking out over Jinder on X. So Wiretaup, he was here before earlier in the Sickos, and Wrestling News says people in AEW believe Mariah May is heading to WWE. And then Wiretap is like, actually, she was never good and isn't even that hot. So maybe he's joking, but again, they're just going to do this.
That was something I called would happen. As soon as I saw it in the morning, like super early, I was like, how long till that happens? And then sure.
So did you see the video I posted of Bret Hart in an airport and there's like an AEW guy? So I don't know. People got mad at me and they're like, why are we filming people in airports? Listen, don't shoot the messenger. Like, this was sent to me directly. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Bret Hart's laughing here in this video, okay? It's his people filming this. I'm sorry if I'm blowing up the spot. He can put me in the sharpshooter later. Yeah.
This is like the wrestling equivalent of the Arthur meme.
But so like Bret, the reason he's got a smile and is looking at the camera is because he is like getting a kick out of this situation. Okay, guys. So I posted this. All right. I'm sorry if I'm blowing anyone's spot up, but it's hilarious. Okay. And then I was like, the Sickos are going to be mad again because Rob Van Dam liked it. Right after he was like, I don't like AEW. I don't like their fans. And this was right after that. And then official RVD liked that video, which popped me. And I was just like, Sickos are going to be mad again. Mad at RVD again. Here's MJ from NJ, who says Dirt Sheets, tabloids, and gossip boys really didn't like that. Tony didn't do what they wanted, and now Tony pays for his sins. One exposed after the next, but congrats, Tony Khan, on beating Nitro, a company that's been dead for nearly 25 years. You did it. And so, yeah, here's Bear Bronson.
Well, no,
and so
it was all the outlets that were doing it. So, like, if you look at all the outlets, it's all the AEW friendlies that like had just suddenly turned on him because they were pissed about Dynasty.
So we covered on this show before that Bear Boulder, like, allegedly, or I don't know, but he like beat up his wife or girlfriend or something and like stood on her head and stuff, like crazy if you read the thing, right? And maybe that's not verbatim. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but Bear Bronson says he's been forgotten and ignored. Almost feels like I'm paying for someone else's crimes. And then Elbu goes, the layout and finish of AEW Dynasty 2025 is the exact kind of finish from the market leader that literally sparked the creation of AEW in 2019.
From the market leader. He literally he's just dunking on AEW. Gossip Boy himself is just like, yeah, market leader. It's them, not you.
So Voices of Wrestling go, a messy opening half hour isn't what AEW needed coming off a not so well received pay-per-view, but we did get some clarity on several key storyline directions coming out of the ill-fated AEW Dynasty main event. What the fuck?
I feel like,
and then Meltzer.
Well, go back to the Voices of Wrestling one, because I'm here, so I'll explain like why I chose these. A messy opening half hour, negative. Coming off a not so well received, negative. Ill-fated main event, negative. It's just incredible how predictable these outlets are, that like when they don't get what they've like pitched their audience, it's like, well, now we got to turn on them. These are such grifters.
So you watch all of it. It does feel like there's a direction. It does feel like the momentum is better.
Just because there's a direction, just because there's a story, even if the story,
he doesn't watch it.
Even if the story, if the story, you can't go, but there is a story, that doesn't count. You can't go, well, it feels like there's a direction.
How does he know?
Well, because he texts Tony.
I feel momentum is better. It's not, it's still not where I would, like it to be. I don't know that it can.
Why would you like it to be anywhere? Objective, unbiased journalist guy?
Get there, with WWE being as strong as it is. But
I don't think it can get there with WWE being as strong as it is. Like, his whole mind is just trying to, his whole show and everything he does, all Dave does now is try and convince people that WWE is going to fall off and is only hot because of make-believe pretend, and AEW can somehow be in this fight and take over WWE because it's just clearly better.
I think
that's what he's trying to convince people.
I think Dave, and I started clipping more of his videos because he looks so defeated. I think Dave realizes it sucks, but also he won't bring himself to say anything too critical, so he has to point to like, well, WWE is the reason. Like, this only sucks because they're so good. And it's like, otherwise this would be great and people would love it. But it's like, no, dude, people don't like it. And you're wrong. Like, your opinion of wrestling and what you've pitched your whole legacy to is wrong.
You're wrong, Dave.
It's doing better. So
it's doing better. How's it doing better? There's no verifiable way it's doing better. Moving along here. So on Becca, on God, let's have here's a real wacko, one of our sickos here who loves Becca. Let's watch her entrance and look at this wacko sing along to her. That be your help. RP. And my office get it every day. But I never admit while I'm working on my fitness. On God, I'll make you wish you had this hot bod. On Becca, on God.
No-sells so hard.
What's that?
She no-sells him so hard.
Oh, yeah. I love it, though, dude. I love Becca, man, and her whole gimmick, her whole persona is so just good for the indies, man. I love that song, too. That song legit slaps. So this guy here, Takeshita fan, he's responding to Mariah May. I'm 6'4" and hate periods, by the way.
What?
Jesus.
You what?
Jesus Christ, man. Sicko. Moving along here. Someone tag me in this. Check this sicko out. Oh, yeah, this is the guy. So he hates Stephanie Vaquer. We read that before. He goes, this bitch is literal ratings poison and a vindictive liar. The way she did her previous workplaces to join WWE is sickening. Karma needs to catch up to her. She deserves it. I'm begging Charlotte to bury her.
Kayfabe or not kayfabe?
So BJ Bethel.
My old friend BJ.
Yeah, speaking of BJ, is that your name or is that like what you do? So I keep cracking that one, but that's my favorite one. So Meltzer said what? You know, he goes off on BJ. We covered this before. I'm sure this is in Dave Meltzer's dumb moment as well. But Meltzer's like, why are you posting like such a gotten to in the bag, whiny, totally not grifting little bitch over your fake max numbers that you were fed? How come before the story came out, all your in the bag media buddies mock numbers not even close to this? So Meltzer said what does a good job of chronicling how like Bethel's just full of, even according to Dave, we covered it, man. Dave thinks they're fake too. The numbers that Bethel said are fake too. And he's like, it's closer to 200,000, if anything.
Which, by the way, I came on this show and said it was not more than 300,000, and I showed my work on how I arrived there. So once again, math is math. Like, why fight it?
Math is a wonderful thing. Dun, dun, dun. Math is a really cool thing. So get off your ass. Let's learn some math. No. Meltzer said what? Says, this is the AEW fanboy troll stand journalist BJ Bethel, who broke the fake AEW Max streaming number story, a total fraud, who logs on here for his 2,800 followers to dunk on WWE and its wrestlers like Rollins on behalf of Tony Khan. I totally trustworthy source. So BJ Bethel, like, why does he care? What a clown. Like, why does he care what Seth Rollins has to say? And
why
BJ...
why does he care to defend Dave?
That's what I mean, because they're butt buddies.
He's on the record of saying Dave is a mentor of his. So
there you go. And so BJ's like, Seth should stop commenting on things outside his own company. He ends up, hey, you stop commenting on AEW and Warner Bros. Outside your own company, dumb. Oh, but you're not going to do that, right? Because you're probably getting paid by Tony Khan. He ends up falling face first every time he does it. Seth took money from a billionaire sex pest for years. I mean, where can saying this ever go right for him? Yeah, Bethel's a real goof, you know?
They updated that story for the sole purpose of like getting it recirculated Mania weekend. And in the update, there are more grammatical and like wrong words. Like it's not been edited. Like it doesn't, like it's been published without being proofread. And I just think that needs to be noted that like this is the person that Sickos say is so trustworthy that can't be bothered to proofread in a website that is not proofreading what is getting posted. But this is the official Max. Like this is what he was told. Like that thing unraveled as quickly as it was thought up of in the mind of BJ Bethel.
No, you nailed it, man. So SkyTel, sorry, I was just reading ahead on this.
Sorry, just because I don't know if people realize this, he is the person that told me I should challenge the media, like encouraged me to do so. So BJ Bethel could just thank himself.
So the SkyTel guy says this to Jimmy Corderas. He's like, WWE was responsible for nearly killing you, and they dropped Owen Hart from the roof of an arena to his horrific death. It's only because Owen used his final words on Earth to warn you to move that you're alive. Here you are 26 years later chasing WWE's approval. You. No, SkyTel, you're a scumbag and a goof. How about that?
Cancer to the pro wrestling business. And
literally a cancer.
Whether or not he actually is a 20-year industry vet,
he's not.
The things that he says, like nobody would work in a business that they are actually that.
No,
poisonous
he's a liar.
Yeah, and this was pretty low. I've become friendly with Mr. Corderas, and there are a few things in wrestling you probably like places you don't go, and people you don't go there to. And to do this was the lowest form of scum.
Jimmy, you got to come on the show, bud. If you're listening, we got to do it.
I'll set it up with Jimmy, Mr. Corderas.
Sure.
I talked to him on Spaces, like super nice guy, and I told this story that like I think he and I got into it the way that he gets into it with people like years ago, but then like no blocking, like He's like, well, if I didn't block you, you didn't cross any lines. I was like, fantastic. Like somebody else that likes to engage in like fun, just like debate, like challenge, whatever. It's great. I think he's a good thing for pro wrestling discourse.
So this guy here tweets out, this is in response to Tetsuya Naito. But he's not even responding to a person saying this. He's just quoting it himself, having invisible arguments with people in his head. And he goes, he's going to WWE. Tetsuya Naito can't even see straight. He has no knees. Man has had 3 eye surgeries. He's 100% going nowhere except to enjoy a lovely retirement. And it's like, why trash him? Why, whenever WWE comes up, you guys just bury the wrestlers as quick as you can? Like, he could go there and just get inducted like Muda or something even. He's like, haters through and through. So Janela gets responded to by Jimmy Corderas. Corderas says, you know what slander and libel is, Joey? Never did any of that. But of course, for someone who's never really made, despite constantly putting themselves over, I expect nothing less from you. So there you go. Janela's really angry at WWE lately, and it's super cringe. Like, he's not even being like funny cringe, like trolly on Twitter. It's actually getting cringe, you know? So MJ, again, you're in here laughing at King Gao, who says Sean Ross Sapp on Nick Khan claiming that WWE doesn't sign wrestlers to bench them. So one thing we'll get into in WWE news, Nick Khan said, we don't sign wrestlers to bench them. There you go. But Sean Ross Sapp is like, this is incredibly hypocritical. Omos was brought back from his best in-ring run of his career in Noah. They loved him there. Hasn't been on TV since. He's not hurt. Natalia's working indies and the NWA because they urgently wanted to re-sign her to keep her from doing the Owen Hart tournament last year with AEW, and they haven't done anything with her for 6 to 7 months.
I have so much to say about this.
Well, say it, because here, I'll just give my quick thoughts. Who gives a? They're all shelving people. This is what I mean. He's defending like, okay, so Tony signs people and shelves them, and you're cool with that, and that's cool. But then you're like, oh, it's hypocritical. In one instance, it's like, yes, some people get shelved, but then you're also bitching. You're the same people also bitching when WWE releases people too. Oh, how dare you release Indy? Well, she's sitting there doing nothing of importance. So it's like, Jesus Christ, man. This is hypocritical what you're saying. And it's like, why do you care so much to, well, I guess here's the thing. I'm not going to say that because I care and call people out, and right. But
I'm going to defend number one boy of Fightful for a second, which people who know me, like, I don't defend many. This is one person that, like, he doesn't want engagement with me. He's already
me neither, dude. And I was about to sort of defend him a bit too. Like, I was just gonna say there before you drop what you got to say. I was just gonna say, like, I critique things. Like, he's given his thoughts on. So I guess that's not a fair criticism of me to be like, why do you care entirely, right? But the thing is like, it just feels so defensive when it's like, where's that energy then for Tony Khan when people are calling him out for shelving people and he's saying he's doing the best show on earth?
He did come out and say, and I did see something circulate where he has said it's wrong on both sides.
Okay,
and that's
good,
cool,
good.
Right? Like, I give him credit for that. But here's what I want to say about this post in particular, and then on him in a second. On this post, this is just like grifters grifting grifters. Like, this account is just farming for engagement and is not taking any news. They're taking a quote from a podcast from another grifter who himself has described what he does as, like, not serious and selling dick pills and, like, covering gossip, right? Yeah. But here's a grifter, an engagement farmer who's been outed on that Discord, like, talking about crazy with Ibu. And he's just like, this is an official report that's going to go out. And Sean Ross Sapp is like some kind of newsmaker because he said something on a podcast called The Hump, which is a joke about WWE's failed podcast or whatever. Yeah. Like, pathetic. This is them working themselves into a shoot thinking that they matter in this world. And, like, they don't matter. They've created a world in which they can grift people into giving them money. And that is the actual definition of a grifter.
Well, I know. And that's why they get mad at us, like you and me, because we wake people up to that and they don't like that. That's like the number one thing. But listen, Dynamite just ended as well with them celebrating winning the trios titles off the Bumbleclaw Club and not the world title. And the crowd's deadish for this half-ass celebration.
Bill, did Hook wrestle?
No, Hook was replaced by Powerhouse Hobbs. and then Hobbs won the titles with Joe and Shibata or whatever.
So,
and then they all celebrated and had a champagne bash where all the baby faces came out and confetti fell down. And that's what they did for the trios titles and not their world title, man. It's the dumbest of all time. The best
guys, Tony Khan.
So Hook, who threw up in the ring last week and then was dropped on his head, who didn't have concussion according to Dave Meltzer, wasn't on the in the match tonight as advertised.
Well, yeah, no, he had a concussion, was barfing everywhere. Dave Meltzer's a liar, dude.
Going back to that Sapp reaction today, I think this was 100% bait by WWE, by Nick Khan. And like they're gonna find out very quickly which quote unquote wrestling influencers are like stooging, and also which talent are gonna go stooge to the wrestling influencers and say we're being benched. And it's going to allow them to kind of suss out some snakes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, they already did a stooge test like that not long ago, you know?
Yeah, it just him falling for the bait. It's like, you're not even good at what you do.
So Jimmy Cordera says, I would never ask this of anyone following here, but I implore you, please do not engage with SkyTel. Yeah, way ahead of you. So here's AEW, and the problem is that people are going, look at this. And quite like AEW didn't wait for you to find them. They found you at Harry Reid International Airport in Vegas getting ready for Mania weekend. Like if you write that and you're just like, no, we're WrestleTube news and entertainment. This is so insanely cringe, bro. That's not random. It's calculated. Yeah, you think? No, this was just randomly in Vegas on Mania weekend.
This is so stupid.
This is so stupid, and this is one of a million people who are like, and quite frankly, this is a genius marketing strategy.
Well,
no, it's not genius. AEW should be running a show there that week to try and get on the wheeze off the juice like everyone else is around WrestleMania weekend. It's like, no, they're doing this. This is a no-brainer. This isn't some genius tactic. They should be there running a show, no less. It's crazy to me, man.
This is such weasel behavior. Like if you want to compete and you want to show that you're like not afraid of the grind, you take your I don't want to get you in trouble, so I won't say what I was gonna say. But you put them on the table. You run a show in Vegas, and you buy this ad space promoting that show. So when people get to the airport, they see your promotion for your show. But that would actually require like having some cojones to put on the table.
And in this trailer, all it is like, okay, they have Ospreay, then it's just Joe, Ricochet, and Christian, like all WWE guys, man.
All WWE guys. And it's like, what do they think people are going to do? Get to their Vegas hotel for WrestleMania week, and like there's all these other shows, and they're just going to like spend their night in the hotel room watching Dynamite. Like, and then they won't even think about this by the time they leave, because I guarantee that they didn't actually spend the money to do this like for when people leave on like Sunday and Monday.
And then Baydala, of course, he has to comment on this.
This guy did it as a joke.
There would never comment if WWE had stuff in an airport in the same town as AEW.
He's a shill for everybody. He's one of the most phonies out there. He's just trying to make money with everybody.
He goes, seems as if AEW WBD bought some ad space in the Vegas airport during WrestleMania weekend. Smart. And it's like, yeah, guys, no, like, I don't know. It's just so weird. We have to like pet Tony on the head whenever he does one good thing after he's done 80 billion fucking things for years.
What is smart about wasting the money to do this? Like,
well, just because you're there for Vegas, like everybody's in Vegas for WrestleMania weekend. That's why all the indies, everyone. Tony Khan should be running the show.
Wrestling fans who already know that AEW exists and Dynamite exists. It's like we're not talking about like millions of people. We're talking about like not even 100,000 people. They all know wrestling exists in AEW. They're not watching it. So spending the money to do this so that you can go post a clip on X is like, that's what you did it for, is to do this, which is not promotion or marketing because it's in the bubble. So it's not helping the company whatsoever. Brain dead.
No, I totally agree.
Blind leading the blind. There's not an actual intelligent business thought going on in any of those circles. And they all want to talk about how they sit at a table like the media mob. Tony Khan could do so much better.
Yeah, and it just sucks that this is the people that they claim he texts
Khan
them
can
shit.
do better. Shad Khan can do so much better.
So that was our Sicko segment.